Okay, good evening. I'd like to call tonight's meeting to order. Today is December 11, 2025. Welcome to the Hyde Park Central School District Board of Education meeting. At this time, can I get a motion to adjourn to executive session for the purpose of discussing promotion, discipline of a particular person or persons, and to discuss privileged matters with legal counsel?
So moved.
Second, Christine.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We're now in executive session.
My name is Dr. Pedro Roman, the proud superintendent of our amazing district, and it's truly an honor to stand here before you this evening. Thank you to all of our guests that are here today, our school, our community members that are in attendance. So when this beautiful building was originally constructed, most likely part of the visionary New Deal era projects, it embodied a powerful American idea. And that is, in times of challenge, we invest in our people and we invest in our future. This auditorium was built on the foundation of President Franklin D. Roosevelt's belief that public works are not just expenses, but lasting community assets, giving back the local economy through jobs, offering vital spaces for education, art, and civic life. Today, our renovation project echoes that same notion. We are not simply fixing an auditorium, we are honoring and revitalizing the initial public trust. We're ensuring that the promise of a quality, comprehensive education for every student endures in a modern 21st century setting. My profound thanks go out to our Board of Education, our community, CS Arch, who is here today, Matt Zerkowski, the Palumbo Group, the DLT, the District Leadership Team. Do we have any members from the District Leadership Team, or now known as the Future Forward Facilities Forum? All right, we have a couple. Our past superintendents, we have Aviva Kafka, who's here, and Carol Pickering. Thank you so much for being here. And we have a number of other individuals, like Melinda DeMeo, Principal Shaw, who will be speaking to you very shortly. And once again, I just can't amplify enough our amazing community for their commitment to this shared vision of public investment. At this time, I want to call up, please help me welcome our Board of Education President, Mr. Michael Zagorski.
Thank you. On behalf of the Board of Education, it is my honor to welcome you here this evening. When my kids attended the school well over a decade ago, I would sit in these seats and wonder, geez, we need to really renovate this auditorium. It's beautiful in structure, but it was definitely dated. So I'm really happy that we finally were able to see that vision come true. This space represents more than new seats, fresh paint, and modern technology. It represents our community's ongoing commitment to our students. I want to thank everyone who was involved in this project, but I especially want to thank our taxpayers who have supported this capital project. Without their continued support, this and many other district-wide improvements would not be possible. So thank you.
Thank you, President Zagorski. At this time, please join me in welcoming the school principal of Haviland Middle School, Mr. Eric Shaw.
Good evening. I look around, I look at some people in the audience, I just want to say, we did it. It's a big deal, long time coming, but October 5th, 1940, this is where our story begins. On this day, President Roosevelt dedicated our building as the new school in the Hyde Park Central School District. In his dedication, President Roosevelt remarked, in terms of dollars and cents, we could make no sounder investment. Reflecting on the previous school, he also said, since the old school had given 70 years of service to this town, we can be sure the new building, the new one, this one, will be used 100 years from now. Today, we continue to honor that vision and express our deepest gratitude to the Hyde Park Central School District community, our Board of Education, district leadership, former Facility Steering Forum members, staff. All of you have worked tirelessly to bring capital improvements to fruition. Your commitment ensures that our historic building continues to serve generations of students. Investment in our facilities is not only an investment in our students' learning, growth and future, but it's an investment in our community. The new enhancements in our auditorium provide an appropriately designed learning and performing space for our orchestras, bands, and choirs. These upgrades include new lighting, carpeting, seating, improved handicap accessibility, as well as a modern sound and light board area. Additionally, the team carefully restored some of the glazing and the painting in the historic architectural ceiling, preserving the building's timeless beauty. These improvements have also created an opportunity for 4 different elementary buildings to come together as one, to unify, to strengthen our sense of community and shared purpose in this space. Students have already expressed to me their excitement about the upgraded space, sharing that's inspiring and energizing to perform, learn, and collaborate in. Community members that I've spoken with during various events will also express and share their excitement as well, expressing pride in seeing their children and grandchildren perform in such a beautiful space and admiration for the district and preserving it. Many of these individuals are former students themselves, adding, again, a special sense of history and continuity. In addition to the functionality, special care was also taken to honor the auditorium's historical character. Working with retired history teacher Linda Boucher, who's with us tonight, who conducted a thorough research and informed the team to ensure that we preserve that nature. And wherever we could, while still being fiscally sound, we did. The original aesthetics of the space were thoughtfully restored, preserving the beauty and legacy of this historic building. Thank you for preserving our past while investing in our students, our community, and the generations for tomorrow.
At this time, I would like to call up Matthew Zerkowski, Principal Architect. Please join me in welcoming him to the stage. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, Superintendent Roman, Principal Shaw, Board of Education, and the community members of Hyde Park. It's a true honor for me as design principal with CS Arch to be involved in this project. And I hope you are as thrilled with the finished product as our company, and I personally am. We spent the last several years on a capital project. This was phase 2 of 3. We're focusing on the high school and most of the elementary schools now. But this space in general, it was grand when we got here. It needed a little bit of love. We held true to all the architectural details in this space, and we just wanted to upgrade a little bit in spaces that needed it. And hopefully, again, you are as proud and thrilled with the finished product as we are. Thank you very much for the few minutes tonight. Appreciate it.
So we would like to once again just thank you for being here, for those that were part of this process, helping to make this vision a reality. And just want to give you an opportunity to kind of walk around and take a look. Once we do our ribbon cutting, it will be an opportunity for you to take a look at the stage and lights and check out the seats. It's a beautiful space, and we want to make sure that our community enjoys it. So at this time, I'm going to call up our Board of Education, our cabinet, our past superintendents, so that we can actually go ahead and do the actual ribbon cutting. And any members from the DLT, if you're here, please come on up.
the steps there.
Your baby too.
Buddy. My name is Stephen Gatchie, Treasurer for Hyde Park Central School District. We're conducting this public hearing regarding the volunteer firefighters and ambulance workers' partial tax exemption to outline the specific decisions made by the board and the fiscal impact these exemptions will have on our taxpayers. The board has adopted to offer this exemption and has defined these specific criteria for eligibility. There were 5 key decision points resolved by the board. Service requirement. To qualify, a volunteer must have completed 3 years of service. The exemption amount. The board set the exemption at 10% of the property's assessed value. Permanency. The volunteers who complete 20 years of service, the exemption becomes permanent, provided the property remains their primary residence. Surviving spouses. The board included a provision to extend this exemption to the unremarried surviving spouse of a volunteer who had completed 20 years of service. And line of duty. The exemption will continue for an unremarried surviving spouse in the tragic event of a line of duty death. It's important to understand how this functions fiscally. Granting these exemptions does not negatively impact the district's ability to levy or collect property taxes. The exemption is applied to the taxable assessed value, which is the full property value adjusted by the local equalization rate. Essentially, the district's total tax levy is distributed among the remaining taxable assessed values after these exemptions are removed. This results in a slight shift in the tax burden. District-wide, we anticipate approximately 80 qualified volunteers. The majority are within the town of Hyde Park, specifically from the Roosevelt District with 55 volunteers. Financially, the total exemption for all volunteers is approximately $47,435 across the district, or approximately 0.069% of the total levy. Since the tax levy remains the same, providing a break to volunteers means a nominal increase for other taxpayers. This slide shows current taxes based on assessed home values ranging from $150,000 to $400,000. At the top, we can see the cost of taxes without the exemption. Below that is the cost with the 10% exemption, and at the bottom is the difference. For a home assessed at $200,000 in Hyde Park, a homeowner will see an estimated increase of $6.15. In Pleasant Valley, the increase is roughly $3.01. In Clinton, the increase is roughly $2.37. For a home assessed at $400,000 in Hyde Park, the increase is estimated to be $12.30. Pleasant Valley, approximately $6.02. These figures illustrate that while the exemption provides meaningful support to our first responders, the financial impact on individual non-volunteer households is minimal. For those eligible who wish to submit or renew this exemption, you must contact the assessor for the town in which your property is located. We've provided the contact information of the assessors for each town in our district here for your convenience. Thank you all for your time. Any questions? All right.
I think we're going to see if anybody from the public wants to comment on we'll take care of the public hearing for the firefighter exemption first, and then we'll move on to the safety plan. So if anybody would like to have any comments at this time, please come to the podium.
How about now? There we go. Good evening, members of the Board of Education. My name's Dan Nichols. I'm one of the fire commissioners with the Roosevelt Fire District and past chief, here to support the tax exemption proposal in front of you. First off, I'd like to thank the members of the board, the members that attended the community chat, Linda Steinberg and the staff who over the last couple years helped us put this program together and this presentation before you. The volunteer firefighters of all of the town of Hyde Park, or the Hyde Park Central School districts, which covers 8 different fire districts that service the 5 towns listed on the roster that you saw on the screen. A majority of the volunteers is the only response that we have through the fire district. Most of your schools are protected by volunteer firefighters. We do have a great volunteer program through all of the fire districts. They're all doing great. And what this does is it's just another tool in our toolbox to say, when volunteering throughout the 5 towns, your volunteer service is appreciated. We can't pay by law any volunteer. Okay, we can't do a stipend program or pay by call. It's just against the law. So creative ways to retain current volunteers and to recruit new volunteers is so important for us to get to. And this is just another tool in the toolbox to do so. As far as the impact, it's interesting because of the assessment differential in the town of Hyde Park versus the neighbors, it looks like the town of Hyde Park taxpayers within the school district would pay more. But the fact is that with the nominally 35% assessment differential, it's about the same. Okay, the average home would pay about $4 more in school taxes no matter where you're at. It fluctuates by $1. But that benefit, is to reflect over 80 volunteers providing generally over 100 hours of service to the community, not only through training, but through responses and other emergency events that we respond to. So we think that this is a great thing on behalf of all the volunteers, and please raise your hand if you're a volunteer firefighter to attend tonight to support this. And also Chief Bowman from the Fairview Fire District also joining in tonight. We appreciate your support and look forward to continuing to serve you. I'll just make the final statement. If by chance, when this is enacted, it doesn't feel as it was intended to, that you feel the impact is different than what you thought it would be, or hopefully it gets a lot of volunteers to come in the door, right? And we need to talk about the impact, we're willing to reopen the conversation. So I just want to put that in front of the board, okay, as nobody knows what it looks like until it actually happens. So as an example, since that number you saw, there's 8 more volunteers in the Roosevelt Fire District alone that would qualify. So just to kind of give you a holistic look at what's happening. So thank you for your time.
All right, anyone else? Any comments? All right. So I think we would end the public hearing for the firefighter exemption. So I know you guys all got a meeting to go to, so you won't be rude if you leave, so you're more than welcome to go, and then we'll start the next public hearing. Okay, listen.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm Melissa Lawson, Assistant Superintendent for Student Supports, and I am here to talk to you this evening about some changes to our district safety plan. Anytime we have a change to our safety plan, we are required by law to bring it to a public hearing and have a 30-day public comment period. So I'm going to outline the changes which are related to DESHA's law, which is a cardiac emergency response plan. As I said, our district safety plan is updated annually. The board already approved the plan this summer, and we have some changes that we are required to make because there's new legislation. So when that happens, we must come to a public hearing and have 30 days of public comment, and then the board will adopt the new plan in January. So DESHA's law basically states that we have to have a cardiac emergency response plan to ensure that there's a coordinated and prompt response to incidents of cardiac arrest. So our school district is in really good shape as where this is concerned, because we have some really strong practices already in our plans and in our building emergency response teams and safety teams. So what the law requires is that every building have a cardiac emergency response team. We have an AED team in each building that responds when there is a need, so that is already covered. We are to provide CPR and AED training to relevant staff. We have excellent trainers. One of them is here tonight, Sue Cerulli. And we have to maintain updated records of our staff that are trained in CPR and AED. We also have to make sure that AED placement is appropriate and accessible to all, and we have to make sure that our AED machines are maintained on a regular basis. We have to have communication protocols established as well as drill requirements that are new. As I said, we are in really good shape because we already have AED drills on a regular basis in the buildings. The law also requires continuous improvement through an annual review process, and any incidents that do occur, they require a post-incident brief, which we already do. The other piece is we need to coordinate with EMS staff annually. We are very fortunate because we have EMS staff as part of our district SAVE team already. So they will review the district plan on an annual basis and give us feedback. And that's really the gist of the changes that will be added to our plan. Are there any questions?
Would anyone like to make a comment?
Okay, thank you very
Okay,
much.
thanks, Melissa. Can we start with that? Okay. So at this time, we'll end the public hearing for the safety plan, and we'll switch over to the regular meeting. All right, so at this time, I would like to return to open session, and can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, did you get this stuff from Neil? Yeah, it's on there, okay. So we don't have any agenda modifications. Can I get a motion to adopt tonight's agenda?
So moved, Margaret. Second, Christine.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Moving on to 7.1, upcoming events. Tuesday, December 16th, the Netherwood Winter Concert will be at Netherwood at 7 p.m. Wednesday, December 17th, Family Resource Center Holiday Event at Hyde Park Elementary, and that'll be from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Thursday, December 18th, Violet Ave Winter Concert, and that'll be at Violet Ave at 7 p.m. Monday, December 22nd through Friday, January 2nd, winter recess, all buildings closed. So that would be the winter break. Wednesday, January 7th is the Ralph R. Smith Winter Concert, and that'll be at FDR at 7 p.m. And then January 8th, that'll be a Thursday, January 8th, the next Board of Education meeting will be at Ralph R. Smith. Open session will start at 7 p.m. Any other events?
I just wanted to highlight that the Family Resource Holiday event, the location has changed to North Park. We've had
Okay.
such a good turnout and requests that we can't accommodate all the families at HPE.
Okay. I'm sure some calendar online will get updated, right? Okay. Okay, moving on to 8.1, Pride.
Good evening, board members, community. So one of the things that we actually focused on during the month of November were the themes of giving thanks and being kind. And I want to recognize Ralph R. Smith, Principal Darling, the entire staff and support team there, students, families. They actually engaged in a collection of cereal boxes to donate to the local food pantry. And what they did with the boxes were they did this domino effect where they lined up all 100 plus cereal boxes and then just tipped them over and just watched them go down. So they had a really good time doing that and doing something good for our community. Additionally, in preparation for the extra calories that many of us put on during the holidays, North Park Elementary School and Violet Ave School had their turkey trots, and you can see some of the highlights in the pictures up above. And just want to give both schools a shout out because it was a great event, well attended, the students were engaged and had a great time, and all while practicing some wellness activities.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Just want to make sure I've got the right one in front of me. So I have the pleasure of highlighting our Artist and Musician of the Month. The first student is Brittany Zarita, and she is a 7th grader at Haviland Middle School. And her teacher, Alicia Jasmine, writes, Brittany was in my 6th grade art class, and I could see potential with her beautiful drawings. I'm lucky to have her in my 7th grade art class as well, and she was chosen as Artist of the Month because she is enthusiastic, hardworking, kind, and pushes herself to try new things. Brittany says, I feel like art is another way to show who you are, and your art never lies. It shows what you are on the inside. She effortlessly works with all mediums to create art that inspires others. And I believe Brittany is here with us this evening. So Brittany, come on up. Okay, I also have the pleasure of recognizing a Musician of the Month. Isabella Watkins is a 5th grader at Ralph R. Smith Elementary School. Isabella is a multi-talented musician from Ralph R. Smith. She is in both orchestra and chorus. Isabella plays the bass in the orchestra. Miss McCann, the orchestra director, says that Isabella always tries her best in rehearsal and has a great attitude as she learns new things. Isabella is a talented singer as well. What makes her voice so special is that she is able to be creative through her voice, adding her own spin to the songs she sings. Isabella works hard, is kind to others, and always does her best. It's a pleasure to have her as a student. Isabella says that she loves music because music makes you feel good. Congratulations, Isabel, and I think she's here as well. job.
The next point of pride is the recognition for Coach Braggs. I want to thank our board president and vice president for working alongside community members to find a way to recognize Coach Braggs for his contributions to many, many individuals that showed up in board meetings. At the event, he was really moved by the recognition. I want to give kudos to the team that really rallied behind him and find a way to honor him. I also want to give a shout out to our athletic director, Beth Fletcher, who helped to coordinate the event. And I also want to recognize some of our board members who were at the event with me. Carl, Christine, Margaret, I just want to thank you for being in attendance at the heartfelt ceremony. We're going to begin working with or continue working with the Future Focus Facilities Forum and a committee that Beth Fletcher is helping me coordinate to provide some input on some design. So more information will be coming on what that's going to look like at our field. That concludes Pride. Oh, I'll pass it over to Principal Shaw.
Good evening, everybody. It is my absolute pleasure to present Pride on behalf of Haviland Middle School this evening. We ask our teachers and our staff members to think about students who exemplify the portrait of a learner in our building. And we ask them to share why that is. And we have two wonderful students to present this evening. We had many students nominated, but these two really stood out this year. And I want to say thank you for that and do some recognition. So in alphabetical order, first, our Portrait of a Learner nomination is for Adriana Atkins, who was nominated by Miss Holton, one of our reading teachers. Adriana Atkins is a sixth grade student who truly embodies all aspects of our portrait attributes each day in my AVID class. As a confident learner, Adriana approaches every lesson with curiosity and enthusiasm. She is consistently focused, eager to participate, and unafraid to ask thoughtful questions or share new ideas. Her positive attitude toward learning helps create a classroom environment where others feel encouraged to engage as well. Adriana is also an effective communicator. Whether contributing to discussions or collaborating with peers, she expresses her thoughts clearly and listens with genuine attention. Her willingness to speak up and to listen just as carefully strengthens our classroom community. As an adaptable innovator, she embraces feedback with maturity and uses it to improve her work. Adriana adjusts quickly when routines shift or new challenges arise, and she approaches change with a calm, solution-oriented attitude that inspires her peers. As a critical thinker, Adriana actively reflects on her work, striving to understand concepts deeply and apply them meaningfully. She shows maturity in the way that she evaluates information and seeks to improve her thinking. And finally, as a responsible citizen, she is a wonderful role model. She is dependable, kind, and motivated to do her best every single day. Her strong work ethic and respectful behavior have a positive impact on everyone around her. Overall, Adriana is a pleasure to have in class and exemplifies what it means to be a dedicated, thoughtful learner. Congratulations, Adriana. Come on up. Come up here for a second. On behalf of the Hyde Park Central School District and Haviland Middle School, your teachers and staff, we want to say congratulations. Would you mind maybe saying that the board wants to thank you too? couldn't miss this opportunity for our second Portrait of a Learner. And this is Azriela Van Steenberg. Where is she? Snuck up. Good to see you. So I will share, excuse my back, but I want to share what, it's a summary because she was actually nominated by 4 different teachers. So yes, so I think that's an accomplishment itself. So Mrs. Neiman, Miss O'Grady, Mrs. Steigerwald, and Mr. Weiner. They say, as it exemplifies every aspect of our Portrait of a Learner. This is a summary of what they all said. As a confident learner, she approaches challenges with determination, enthusiasm, and strong work ethic. Coaches and teachers consistently describe her as someone who, quote, truly wants to learn and knows what hard work and dedication looks like. She asks thoughtful questions, seeks support when needed, and uses each experience as an opportunity to grow, returning, quote, even more excited after moments of frustration, even after moments of frustration on the court. As an effective communicator, Az expresses her ideas clearly, listens with sincerity, and contributes meaningfully to group work. Whether in class discussions or on the basketball court, she communicates encouragement and positivity. Her coaches highlight how she, quote, showed up for her teammates, cheering them on, guiding them through new skills, and supporting them during practices, games, and her teachers say even in the hallways. As it demonstrates her strength as an adaptable innovator by adjusting seamlessly to new situations. As one of the few experienced players on a largely beginner basketball team, she remains patient, flexible, and uplifting. She embraces the challenges, helping teammates learn the game while modeling resilience and creativity in problem solving. As a critical thinker, Azzy reflects deeply on her actions and the impacts on others. She uses setbacks as learning moments and thoughtfully analyzes situations, such as recognizing when frustration occurs and shifting her mindset to better support others and herself. Teachers note her ability to make connections, think carefully, and evaluate discussions with her insight. Finally, Azzy is a shining example of what a responsible citizen is. She consistently shows kindness, integrity, and empathy, qualities highlighted in a moment when she immediately helped a student who had fallen in the hallway, despite not even knowing them well. She later expressed that, she could have done something different. Sometimes, like, you don't want to laugh at someone. You don't want to be unkind. You want to do what's right every time. Demonstrating moral courage and compassion. Teachers describe her as someone who, quote, wants everyone to feel included and who will stand up for what is right and who steps in whenever someone needs help. As it balances academic commitment, athletic leadership, empathy, and integrity, making her truly deserving as a candidate as a Portrait of a Hyde Park Central School District learner. Congratulations, Azzy. Congratulations to you. Great job. That's a nice certificate. Now turn around and face your mom for a second. I'm sure they're going to want to take a picture, right? Why don't you hold that? You hold that. That's yours. All right. Would you want to shake your board's hand? Thank you. Congratulations, Bob. When you're around long enough, you get to see your students realize success. Congratulations. Now we have a wonderful opportunity to recognize 2 of our employees as a portrait of a Hyde Park Central School District employee. And like our other decision-making, these are peer-nominated folks who rose to really exemplify what it means to be a portrait of an employee. And Ms. Armstrong actually had 2 nominations. I do leave those anonymous, allowing people to really put forward their thoughts. So I'll share some of the summary between the both. And Karen, you are a true example of a portrait of an employee. She consistently demonstrates what it means to be a confident learner, an effective communicator, an adaptable innovator, a critical thinker, and a responsible citizen. She is, quote, always willing to help out a colleague. She shares her ideas of her amazing lessons and is a great hallway mate. I enjoy talking with her about ideas because Karen is always, quote, willing to listen and often shares her ideas to collaboratively create great end results. Every day, it's evident that Karen, quote, is there for her students and also her colleagues. As a confident learner, Karen is constantly learning new ideas and strategies such as WITSE to integrate into her materials and shows that she is a lifelong learner. She goes above and beyond every year selecting and creating materials for the 6th grade Big Read, ensuring that all students, not just in her class, but at the grade, have high-quality, engaging resources and instruction. This year, she even connected us with a wonderful author's visit, demonstrating her proactive approach to learning and enriching experiences for students. Karen exemplifies an effective communicator through her openness, collaboration, and willingness to share resources. She generously shares all her materials that she creates over the summer, at times with the entire 6th grade team she'll share, as well as personally recorded audio books. Let me rephrase that, because this is a quote. Personally recorded audio of the book she makes for students who miss school or need that accommodation. Her communication ensures that all students have equitable access to learning and her colleagues can benefit from her expertise. Her work also shows as an adaptable innovator. Karen thoughtfully sets up field trips each year to, quote, support understanding of new content, adapting experiences to meet students' needs. She approaches challenges creatively and consistently seeks ways to improve instruction and engagement. As a critical thinker, Karen reflects on what works best for her students and the team. She thoughtfully designs lessons, materials, and experiences, ensuring they are meaningful, effective, and aligned to students' needs and standards. She continually adjusts her instruction to maximize student learning and collaborates to create, quote, a great end result. Finally, Karen is a responsible citizen in our school community. She supports our improvement efforts as a standing member of our building leadership team, serves as one of our coordinators for our community night events, and she's always, either formally or informally, a mentor to our new teachers, guiding and supporting our colleagues while modeling professionalism and care. Karen, you are truly an inspiration for your team, for the grade in the school. You embody every aspect of the portrait of an employee, showing dedication, collaboration, leadership, and everything you do. Thank you, Karen. At this time, it's my pleasure to invite up Ms. Hathaway up to the podium to talk about our final award this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Shaw. You're welcome. And thank all of you for this opportunity. I'm going to start with a riddle. What do you get when you cross a nurse with a teacher? A school counselor. Linda Boughton possesses all the great qualities of both of her parents' professions and has been sharing them with the Hyde Park community for 30 years. And I say the Hyde Park community because although she's worked at Haviland her entire career, Linda's influence has been felt in all of the Hyde Park schools. Linda defines her role as an advocate for students, and she certainly is. She puts the child in the middle of the discussion and pulls into the circle whomever can help fulfill the child's needs, be they academic, social, emotional, physical, and sometimes even financial. Once she orchestrated and even helped deliver an entire room set for children when she learned that they had no beds. So yes, she's absolutely an advocate for children, but she's so much more. She's a leader. She mentors and teaches the newer staff to better understand the community we serve and the resources available. She's a professional. She carries herself with purpose, communicates clearly, and is fundamentally present. She's a resource. She has guided families through the ever-changing landscape of early adolescence to strengthen their parenting of and relationship with their children. She's a support. Linda avails herself and nurtures faculty and staff when we falter with our own life challenges. And finally, she's an inspiration. She has served as my exemplary role model for my entire career. Thanks, Linda.
That's it for Pride, right? Any other Pride would any would like to share? All right. Moving on to 9.1, the superintendent's report with Dr. Roman.
Thank you, President Zagorski. Two quick things. First one is I want to introduce one of our newest members to the team, Ms. Christina Howe. She is the interim assistant superintendent for finance and operations. And for those of you that don't know, she cut her teeth in the district back in the 90s in our own business department. And she is back here to help us in our transition. So just want to welcome her and say thank you for your support. And then the second thing is I just want to highlight all the students from here at Haviland. Last night's chorus concert was amazing. The students performed exceptionally well. I want to give kudos to students, our teachers, our families, support staff, Principal Shaw and the team here, support staff here, as well as our new director for Fine and Performing Arts, Mr. Matt Funigello, who's in the house today. And so just want to say thank you for all the great things that you folks are doing for our kids and our families. So that concludes my items.
Okay, thank you. And I did want to mention anyone that was here for Student Pride, you're more than welcome to leave if you have homework to do and stuff. At this point, 9.2, the Haviland Middle School update with Principal Shaw.
We're going to begin our presentation this evening. We do have a couple more students that want to share a little bit. So for our own Inside the Building Pride, I want to invite Miss Reed and Miss Jasmine up to talk a little bit about some of the art that they've been doing in their class. We have some students that want to share a little bit about the art they did and the impact it had on them. So Miss Jasmine, Miss Reed, welcome up.
All right. Hey, everybody. I'm Miss Jasmine. This is Miss Reed. We're the art teachers here at Haviland Middle School, and we teach a choice-based class, so it's really special to have our students that are here with us tonight who decided to participate in our New York State MLK Art and Essay exhibition. This is from New York State asking for artwork for the exhibition, which will be permanently on display online. So it's really cool that we have so many wonderful people who submitted some stuff for us. Should we just hit the? Yeah, please. Okay, great. Just invite them up as you go. All right, great, sounds good. So just kind of going through, these are all students that decided to make all of these. They were self-guided. So these are all about kind of what inspired them. And so you can see some of the quotes from our students as they reflected on what MLK's legacy means to them. So just some beautiful paintings, artwork for you to see. And as we get to our students, we can have them come up and say a few words. Penny, did you want to come up?
Hi. When I made this artwork, I discovered that I can overcome anything, just whatever comes my way. I can just decide if like something bad happens, I can decide to do anything else to overcome it. And I think MLK's message means that in order for something good to happen, something bad has to happen first. Yeah.
Coming your way. Thank you, Penny. All right. Layla, did you want to come up?
Hi, my name is Layla, and when people look at my artwork, I want them to see the peace and equality that Martin Luther King Jr. was trying to make. What else do I say?
Thank you, Layla. All right. Should you want to come up? You don't have to. It's okay. You don't have to. You don't have to. All right. Kina is in the audience, but she made this beautiful drawing of MLK Jr. and discovered while doing that MLK Jr. Was never meant to be killed. He was meant to be here for us to heal. So thank you.
Hi, I'm Ava from 8th grade studio art, and I really enjoyed making this painting. Like, just like the experience of like being able to do this, I was very grateful, and like just experiencing like all these different paints, mixing paints together. I really enjoyed like doing this past weeks, like the past couple of weeks. I have Frieza flowers, which mean freedom and independence, and freedom is like a really big thing to me in my world, and expressing it in my art. Thank you.
All right. We have Eliza coming up. I can hold it up. Okay. So we have the picture of the quilt that Eliza made, but we think it looks better in person. So it's a tapestry.
Hello, my name is Eliza. I want people to feel inspired and reminded that everyone has a place in the world. When they look at my quilt, I want them to see how small pieces can create a bigger picture, the same way small acts of kindness can create change. Thank you.
Awesome. This is a piece, the students aren't here, but darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. That was one of his quotes. And then we have a couple more that you can see the in progress at the same time. Lots of people were helping each other out. And so there's lots of handprints from other students in the classroom really getting involved with collaboration. We have one by Vanessa.
I drew this because I want people to feel like they can be like themselves around other people, and like they don't have to change themselves for like other people and stuff like that. Yeah.
And just a few others that students couldn't be here tonight, but we have some drawings and collages, lots of quotes. People really liked looking up all the quotes and seeing, he's got a lot of beautiful quotes. This beautiful drawing by Andre. Maybe's not here, right? And another drawing by Maybe. And just some in-progress photos for you. Is that you? Johanna had to leave early, but she worked really hard on this one, and she used the quote, "The time is always right to do right." And that's it.
Just a special thank you to Ms. Reed, Ms. Jasmine for their leadership and stewarding us through this process. We have, for several years, had our art displayed up there, but it's always a good opportunity to share with the board some of the other things that are happening in our building that maybe aren't quite as widely known. I will, if they haven't yet already, really encourage our students to, as the board president said, to head on home. There's lots to be done. School comes early tomorrow, and our staff room came out to celebrate our Portraits of a Learner and Portrait of an Employee. Thank you very much, and I will certainly understand if you need to go. Thank you. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Thank you, Ben. This thing is causing me some challenges here. I think I have it. There we go. So to the Board of Education, thank you for this opportunity to present Haviland Middle School and the work that is happening here as we've, since, well, I guess almost 1 year to the day since we were here in this auditorium talking last year. And it's just a really great opportunity to highlight what the experience is here at Haviland Middle School, outcomes for students, and sort of discuss the work we've been doing and how it translates to experiences for kids and really at times results as well. Our mission to be a Hyde Park Central School District is an innovative learning environment for all, and we empower all learners to be successful members of our dynamic society. We're going to talk our discussion drivers this evening include celebrating successes, impact of prior investments, current work targets for improvement, and also budget recommendations as we're going into that time of the year as well. I start with, this is our 2025 Haviland Middle School Community Night. It was this past November 5th. And I start with this because this is exemplifies the work and commitment that happens in our building every day for our students. On this evening, this was our 10th annual Haviland Middle School Community Night. We had over 45 volunteers. There are employees come in at night to help support an event for families. We served over 230 meals. We had almost 45 vendors. These are community vendors. These are community partners that we've established over the years that come in to bring and provide resources for our students and their families, all local resources throughout the Dutchess County area. And also, it was highlighted by student musical performances. You get dinner and music, our chamber orchestra, our jazz band, as well as our modified cheer put on a demonstration. And I just want to thank all of our community sponsors. But it's just, for me, it exemplifies that here at Haviland Middle School, it is challenging, it is rewarding, it is rigorous, and it's supportive. It's all those things all at the same time. There's not one word that can say what happens here every single day, but it's anchored by the people who come to work here every single day to support our school, our community, and our students, and we do that with passion and drive that makes me proud to be here as the principal at Haviland Middle School. You, as the board, have seen this slide before, and this slide is something I hope to continue every year because this slide remembers where we were. It reminds us of the hard work. When we talk about return on investment, like what have we been doing? This is the work we've been doing. We were notified in the winter of 2019-2020 school year that we were identified as a school in need of improvement. And we worked hard over the next couple of years, even years where we weren't even able to get off a list. We still did the work because we knew it was right, driven by two common commitments you're going to hear later on in the presentation, which is around, it boils down to relational capacity and instructional equity. And that's our driving focus. It has been our driving focus for the last 5 years. And you'll notice in the 23-24 school year, we learned that we are no longer a school in need of improvement. We're a local school support and improvement school. Used to be the good standing designation, but they changed it because it shifts mindset that you're not finished. Our kids aren't finished. We still need to do the work. And we continue that, and we project that this school year will remain in that status as well. This is pride for me. It's pride because it tells me what's happening in every classroom every day, because the outcomes appear here. And this is what is a look at 3 years worth of data with the new assessments, the New York State ELA, the New York State Math, the science exam that happens in 5th grade and then again in 8th grade, as well as our NYSA slot scores. And you're going to see increases over the last 3 years with the same assessment. So it's apples to apples. And that's one thing I want to point out, because I went back to 2018 data, because that was the last time the old assessment hit, then COVID hit, then they trialed things, and here we are with this computer-based test, which sees increases in all those areas. And that also marks, it's a hallmark of the work that happens here. Incremental increases are important to note, because as you paint a picture over years, those numbers are kids. There are students, and there are students improving every year, and we're proud of that work. We're not finished, and we'll continue that, but it is a point of pride, and it really demonstrates the return on the investment of the work that we're doing here at Haviland. We also continue our work around engaging students and families to attend school every day, make it count. You know, attendance matters. Attend today, achieve tomorrow. And we were like the New York State average in the 22-23 school year. Post-pandemic, New York State census said about 26% of students weren't attending school. And we fit that mold too. But we've done our work. We saw a huge increase coming out of the 23-24 school year with a reduction of almost or over 11%. And then also, last year we saw a dip up, but we're continuing to do that work. Right now, as the first quarter ended November 7th, so recent data, we were down to 12.4% chronically absent. So seeing a reduction over those 3 years of 13.2%. It's not because we wish it. Hope is not a strategy. It's because we're continuing our commitment around relational capacity. We're taking a deep look at what's happening in our classrooms every single day and making sure that instructional equity and rigor is there. The support of our school counselors, the work they're doing with students and families. It really is about engaging your data to make sure your data is clean going in, so you're looking at the appropriate thing coming out. Otherwise, if it's not clean, you don't know where the issue is because your data wasn't clean. We spent a lot of time doing that. This year, and I'll talk a little bit more about it, is really engaging the MTSS process with our facilitators and the partnership, which is really strong and healthy, with our community schools liaison, which is foundational work with families to eliminate barriers to attending school. This is one of our two wildly important goals, tied to the district's wildly important goal. You know, for us, we want to see a decrease by 3% of chronic absenteeism from 17.8 to 14.8. And outlining things I've already said around building our process for the multi-tiered system of supports, the MTSS. Partnering with our community school liaison, Soyel Smalls, who's been doing some wonderful work. The chart on the left is data that she's pulling, looking at, along with our school counselors, to look at who the students are. The data on the right, the left, talks about kids who attend every day, but there's also inside that data are kids who aren't attending school, who are actually at the point of chronic absent now, and now's the time to address that. And now's to hit it early, and we're working on that. We're providing outreach to gather information. We are partnering with families. We are gathering student voice. These are all plans coming forward. But also we're going to provide an opportunity to, at the middle level, like competition is important to students, and engaging them in that way. And Ms. Smalls has actually created a 3-tiered system for at the classroom level, at the team level, and at the grade level across all 3 grades. It sort of was foundational work that she engaged our building leadership team with, and then she engaged our student support team, and then she'll actually be presenting this upcoming Monday at our faculty meeting to get feedback from everybody now to make sure it's going to work as a school-wide approach. And our hope is that That New Year's, new goal, new you mindset provides a springboard for a logical, fresh start for kids who might have been struggling, but also a good opportunity for kids to set goals around attending school. Our second work, a continued idea of the instructional equity in all classrooms. We align with the district's goal to increase literacy results. For us, we want to increase the outcome of our ELA assessment by 6% from 44.5 to 50.5%. That would be a big lift, but it's a lift that we're confident we can reach for. We are anchoring that work in a program that we started in our school improvement time called Writing is Thinking through Strategic Inquiry, also known as WITSE, and it is foundational work around beginning with sentence writing to, paragraph writing to essay writing. So WITSE 101 is that sentence structure, 102 is the paragraph structure, and 103 is the future. So we are working with all of our staff. 2 years ago, we trained the vast majority in 101, and they're getting 102 this year. And those who were new to our building or didn't have that opportunity are getting 101. And our teachers are really engaged in this work in a very deep way. On the right-hand side of the slide, you're going to see those are just snippets of teacher-created work put into practice. At our faculty meetings, I asked 2 departments to present the work they're doing around WITSE. There's an expectation in the building that we're going to engage it 1 time per week. But if you think about a student that has 8 or 9 different teachers with every other day classes on their schedule, 1 time a week, times month, times the 6 months leading up to the state assessment, we're giving them the opportunities to explore deeper the strategies in writing. And that's a critical foundational skill which will help boost our literacy and competency of our students, and therefore the end result. And this next piece is a look at budget and some of the budget recommendations, some of the requests that I'm really looking at for the needs for Haviland Middle School, and this idea of continuing to invest in the high impact instructional strategies. For us, that means further developing the work in WITSE. It's building 103 while those who haven't had 102 yet get that opportunity, while also knowing that retirements happen, new people come in, and that everyone has to have that exposure. So we have those resources to do that. A little bit later on this evening, Ms. Miller and I are going to talk about increasing exposure for the AVID class for all 6th graders. We also want to really implore the board to consider including student supply money next school year. That was a grant-funded program for the last 3 years, and that is no longer in place. But for us, it levels the playing field. In a building that is almost 55% students who are economically disadvantaged, being able to have all students have the same experience with the same supplies, and if you don't have it or you lost it or it broke, it's available again, because those are the things that are going to help kids stay engaged and stay with it and stay part of the learning experience. This year, also part of a grant, there were some additional monies that are supporting our PBIS program, which are going to be tied to our attendance goal, and we can't lose sight of that goal. Our kids need to be here every single day. We won't be able to impact them if they're not in the way that we want to and know we can when they're there. We also are asking for a little bit of safety enhancement around first aid kits in our classroom. I'll talk a little bit about that in a moment. Excuse me. And then the big ask is to really take a deep look and allow me to work with the Facilities and Operations Department to take a look at like a Haviland renewal plan and sort of go back to what we started this evening off with the ribbon cutting, and like what do we need to do to ensure that high quality instruction happens in this building. That 100 years from then is 14 years from now. So we have a bit of a springboard. We've begun the work, things that are really visible here to gutter systems in the back of the building that you never see. Like, we've begun the work, but there's also this internal pieces that need to be addressed, and looking at a furniture replacement plan, working with the facilities and operations and the future forward facilities group to discuss locker replacement and outdoor enhancements at student recess. And those are things that, obviously, not all these are next year. This is planning forward so that we can budget adequately for that. And this is a look at the budget. This is a very similar format to you saw at North Park Elementary when Ms. D'Alessandro and Mr. Faziola presented. So just, these are budget lines. The first set of columns is the 26-27 school. That's next year. And then there's projections out 2 additional years at a percentage rate that Ms. Steinberg provided to the principals as a good idea of where it would be. And that's our administrative staff costs, instructional staff, teaching assistants, teachers' aides. And I guess I'll also point out, you guys are familiar with this because you saw it last time, but there are priority markings there, right? So one is regulatory and mandatory. 2 is really evidence-based improvement strategies. 3 is program enhancements that support kids that at times almost feel like they belong in that mandatory, but they may not be mandatory, but they're essential to the work that we do every day. And supervision and contractual supplies, teacher classroom supplies, health office supplies, continuing on. I'm sorry, I think I went a little bit too fast there. And then in this, that total number is the budget allotted for Haviland Middle School to function and provide the outcomes and support and to meet the needs of our students. That is there at the bottom. And just to sort of, for ease of access, a summary page, which talks about the staffing costs and benefits. I think it really needs to be pointed out there. The attendance, the PBS support I asked for an ask is a $2,000 grant-funded piece that we got here to help support that work. That would be an additional on top of that bottom number. The combined school supplies are already, I combined those other pieces that I just showed you. Textbooks are a piece of that as well. The counseling office supplies, but then added the costs that we estimate would be for those first aid kits. God forbid there's an emergency. We have other resources for students and staff during that time, but if we needed first aid kits, we thought our safety team thought about that a lot in terms of how we might continue in the event of. There's the travel, conference, and mileage code pieces there. The student supply, the last number is the number that, based on this year's purchases, the projection for next year, and that would be the other. So those 3 greens are the additional for our request for the upcoming school year. So the benefits of investment and recommendations, like really looking to increase instructional equity, which allows us to have connected practices across all departments, teams, and classrooms. Like our building has a culture, our 6th grade has a culture, our 6th grade teams have a culture. And that's part of the beauty of a teaming model. But from my view, I want to make sure the experiences are the same no matter which team you're on, that you're still being challenged with rigorous and equitable practices inside the classroom, utilizing a common writing approach through the WITSE protocols, and then really the next part of the WITSE, that strategic inquiry, like building, looking at student work and the impact the instruction has on that. Looking to level learning opportunities with common student supplies. I spoke about that already. I think it's really critical. Improve classroom instructional experiencing. It allows us to, that's around the furniture replacement plan to really build and preserve President Roosevelt's pride while he dedicated this building. Again, the PBS incentive supports, and then emergency planning. And we're going to continue to monitor HMS building-wide BLT goals. We're going to measure progress. We're going to assess. We're going to adjust as needed. We're going to review behavioral data through our PBIS program. We're implementing building-wide. We're looking at the implementation of the building-wide tiered attendance as a competition, a friendly competition around the grade, the team, and the classroom level. We're collaborating with the Facilities and Operations Department, working on future projects and DRIP projects, and also the future forward facilities to address the capital improvement needs that those of us who are on the committee clearly see. And I'll stop there for any questions.
Any questions from anyone? Comments?
I'm just looking at the chronic absenteeism.
Yes.
And 23, 24, any thoughts as to what the reason is for the significant increase
Well,
last year?
yeah, my thought there is it's the work, because at that point in time, we were 3 years into our school improvement work, which we anchored in that relational capacity. I think it's a combination of being purposeful to have a welcoming and engaging environment for students, a place where we engage students around voice and choice. And then also, I strongly feel, and I still do, and I work with our attendance office every day, that it comes down to making sure that our data is clean and right, and that all of our students are accounted for. It comes from student success teams and home visits and engaging parents. We're hoping to grow that with our connections with our community schools program to reduce it. But that's my belief as I stand here before the board to say, like, that's the hard work that happened in our building during that time. And I still think we benefit from that. Because although, yeah, it does spike, it's going to go up and down, but we're not seeing that 11% spike, 12%. We're not seeing mid-20s.
Thanks.
Sure.
Any other?
I mentioned this at North Park, so I want to mention it here too. I totally understand the need to try and fund the school supplies, but I'd like us to look at prioritizing what's working, what's not, because what we needed during COVID might be different than what we need now. So I would love to see, instead of it being an automatic rollover of we need this much for our school supplies, are there some things that we could do without? And that's just something to think about. The question I had was, since we're talking about student attendance and performance, any feedback on the cell phone policy and how are things going?
Sure.
Student-wise, teacher-wise, instruction?
Well, I think that I'm safe to say, and if our teachers and the staff are still here, and I know our APs are behind me, I would say that it's probably enhanced our experience here at Haviland Middle School. Cell phones have not really been a strong issue at all. There are always going to be a few students who need some support, but not risen to the level of the, oh my gosh, floodgates that you might have thought. But I just also want to remind the board that Haviland Middle School was already a no-school zone school. Like, that wasn't something part of our practice. When I first actually arrived here, they were allowed during lunch. And then the advent of Chromebooks happened, and we said, kids are not talking to each other. So probably around the 2016, 2017 school year, our BLT made a change, and we said, not during the school day. And I have heard so much less about concern over cell phone this year than I have in my 13 years here. So I think it's working well.
So I just wanted to say thank you again for the presentations. It's great seeing the students. The auditorium has never looked better, so it's great being here. I have a pet peeve to Carl's point about the absenteeism stuff. The pet peeve is with the state, not with you or not with Haviland. When students are sick and the parents send in a note, the state will still categorize that as possibly chronically absent. That's my personal pet peeve.
I share that peeve.
That's something the state, I think, needs to work on. But my question is, what do you think is the one thing that the board could do? There's many great things going on. You've outlined that. One thing that the board could do to assist Haviland at this point?
I talked to our staff at our last faculty meeting about it. I did mention to them that I really want to impress upon the board that some of the classroom furniture pieces are really important because they're essential. When kids walk in the classroom, they automatically will be able to gauge what the experience they believe might be. But we have some furniture that I'm sure that I used in 1985, and some that are probably a little bit older. And just an opportunity to not, in a way that's not measured, in a way that's not planned for, but really take a look at those 14 years are going to come really quick. And that we can stand here with pride when we have our rededication of 100 years, that we know we're meeting the mission, not only of President Roosevelt had offered us, the challenge I'm going to say he offered us, but also that we're meeting the needs of our students in the building, but also the desks and the chairs and the tables and the experience that's happening. And that's where I would like to really because that's where the real support is going to absolutely be needed. Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? All right, thank you, Mr. Shaw.
Great, thank you.
You're up again.
Well, I'm actually going to invite Una Miller up too, who is one of our assistant principals, and Ms. Miller also oversees our AVID program in the building to help us out with our AVID presentation. And that one just goes to the right.
Got it. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. This evening, we're very excited to share with you our proposal for a new course offering here at Haviland, the AVID Middle School Success course for the 2026-2027 school year. This proposal reflects our ongoing commitment to preparing our students for long-term academic success and ensuring that every learner at Haviland has access to powerful skills that will make them college and career ready. As we begin, it's important to ground this proposal in the district's vision and mission. Hyde Park Central School District is committed to being an innovative learning environment for all students. Our mission emphasizes empowering every learner to succeed in a dynamic society. The AVID Middle School Success course directly aligns with these goals by equipping our students with foundational academic, organizational, and life skills that support both immediate and long-term success. This evening's presentation will cover 4 main areas. First, we'll introduce the AVID Middle School Success course itself. Next, we'll provide the rationale behind this recommendation, why we believe this course is an essential addition to our 6th grade programming. Then we'll walk through the course syllabus, and finally, we'll open the floor to your questions. At the 6th grade level, we propose offering a new course titled AVID Middle School Success. This course builds on our district's established commitment to AVID while expanding access so that all students, not only those selected for the AVID elective, can benefit from the foundational skills that AVID develops. There are several compelling reasons for introducing this course here at Haviland. First, our district has made a significant investment in AVID programming over the years. Adding this course ensures that we fully leverage that investment by expanding AVID's reach. Second, this course provides opportunities for all HMS 6th grade students to experience AVID strategies, giving them critical skill development as they enter a new academic stage in middle school, strengthening students' academic foundation. Fourth, we anticipate positive impacts on attendance and academic outcomes based on the performance of our existing AVID elective cohort. And finally, this proposal requires no additional cost to the budget as it repurposes existing staffing resources and utilizes existing curricular materials. We also want to share the data that supports this proposal. First, our 6th graders currently average 2.36 study hall periods in their schedule. Study halls can be beneficial for some students, but replacing a portion of that time with structured, explicit skill instruction provides significantly more value. Second, attendance data shows a strong correlation between AVID participation and improved attendance. As of November 25th of this year, the school-wide average daily attendance was 94.4%, while our AVID cohort's ADA was an impressive 97.7%. Third, we see similar trends in academic outcomes. The overall student average in the first marking period at HMS is 86%, while our AVID students are performing notably higher with an average of 91%. These data points reinforce that AVID strategies work, and expanding access to them has the potential to elevate outcomes across the entire 6th grade class. Finally, the proposed course would meet every other day for 1 semester, making it accessible and manageable within our existing schedule. The AVID Middle School Success course focuses on the essential skills students need to thrive in middle school and beyond. The syllabus includes foundational academic skills. In AVID, those are WICR, which is writing, inquiry, collaboration, organization, and reading. an introduction to the AVID College and Career Readiness Framework, organization, time management, and goal setting, focused note-taking and active listening, inquiry-based learning and collaboration, reading and writing strategies across the content areas, development of a growth mindset and self-advocacy, early leadership skills, community building and relationship development, and introductory financial literacy concepts. These skills are not only critical for academic learning, but are also lifelong skills that benefit students across all experiences. Thank you so much for your time and attention. We believe this course will significantly strengthen the transition to middle school, support student success, and align with our district's vision of empowering all learners. We're happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Is this a course that we came up with, or is it just portable, we're taking it in?
So this is something that we did some exploration on. This is something that our AVID site team has been talking about for many years before my time, in just seeing need and the benefits that our AVID elective students get from going through the process of AVID through sixth grade, from sixth grade all the way through to FDR. We do have these resources available to all of our staff, and over the years, Mr. Shaw can share, there has been a lot of AVID professional development, but as he said before, people retire, we get new folks, and so while we do have a solid cohort of AVID trained staff here, it's implemented in classes beyond the elective inconsistently and differently. So our AVID site team did do a site visit to Ann M. Dorner Middle School in Ossining, where they do implement this grade-wide in sixth grade and also in seventh, to do a little exploration of how this could benefit our students, and really wanting to fill one of those study hall slots with an instructional period rather than a supervisory period.
And so in those other districts, they view it as a success?
Yes, absolutely. It really, in speaking with the teachers and the administration at Ann M. Dorner specifically, they really do see the impact of how students can then translate these skills in their other classes.
Good, thank you. Any other questions, comments?
So obviously this would be a non-graded class and it would take the place of study halls from what you said. Yeah, I think that's great. That's what I was wondering about. To me, study halls are a complete waste of time for students, and if you have something like this where they're getting skills, that's so much better. So so that's great to hear, and maybe it'll expand, up the chain. So thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to say, having spent a few years in the investment industry, I'm thrilled to see basic financial concepts being taught. All I hear that people don't make enough money is, no, you just spend more than you make, and you need to learn how to do a budget, and the earlier the better.
And that's a new requirement also from the state that needs to start being embedded into our instructional program. It will also support students when they go into seventh grade into their laws classes as well, giving them a little bit more foundation.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. All right, moving on to 10.1, our public participation. Can I get a motion to enter our first public participation?
Second, Christine.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Just a reminder, we got a total of 3 minutes per speaker for a total of 21 minutes will be allotted. Participation, let's see, we ask that each participant provide name and address, and that all comments are courteous and respectful of all. Would anyone like to address the board?
Hello, my name's Roman Pemberton, 3 Stoutenburg Drive, Hyde Park, New York. I just think the AVID course is a really neat idea because I remember back when I was in 6th grade, I had like 2 or 3 study halls, and like maybe in the first or second one you're doing something, but by the third one you're just playing games on your Chromebook. So I think it would be a really good opportunity to teach students important skills and get them ready for life as they move ahead. Thank you.
Would anyone else like to address the board? Okay, at this time, we'll close public participation. And thank you, Mr. Pemberton, for those comments. All right, moving on to 11.1, board subcommittee reports and professional development updates. I think policy met.
You did, you're getting a bunch of policies, a lot of financial stuff, mostly just updating language, and got rid of, what? Got rid of a couple of old ones that were included in another one.
Okay. Save committee met?
Yep, SAVE committee met on November 19th. I want to just make a comment. There's, Melissa Lawson is the co-chair with Dan Hurley, and I just want to say what a great job Dan Hurley does as a school psychologist. Really oversees a big portion of the safety committee. He's really passionate about student safety, and that comes through in our meetings. So we had a meeting, and just, I feel like I need to repeat this, that it's a meeting that has representatives from every building in the district, and it includes representatives from our local police and fire, so they're all in the meeting, and it's a really collaborative tone where people are bringing up observations, and a lot of people are chiming in on what's happening and why it's happening. So it's really an interesting and productive process. Some of the topics we talked about were the security vestibules and updates on that, and walkie-talkies. Not a lot that I can really share. Vestibules, badge readers was one of the things. North Park's parking lot has lighting now. I believe that's complete. Locking doors in unoccupied rooms. We're trying to streamline some safety protocols. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. But just want to say, great job, Dan Hurley, on all his work that he does for us.
All right, thank you. Dutchess County School Board?
The Dutchess County School Boards Association met on December 4th, last Thursday evening. It was an in-person meeting at the beautiful DC BOCES conference room. The invitation went out to all board members. Our colleague Katie actually joined us, and it was great seeing her there. We had a big presentation. Besides our normal business, we had Patrick Longo, who was from the School Boards Association, and he gave a presentation about special needs students, not only from what he's seen in the fields visiting hundreds of districts across the state, but also personal reflections for himself and his own student, and really with the eye of explaining again, some of these needs that board members might not be aware of, even if you are educated in special ed law. For example, he was talking about how there is not a set definition still for dyslexia, and that makes it hard sometimes in IEP meetings to give modifications of different sorts. He also shared that in most employers' medical insurance plans, hearing issues are not covered by most plans and so forth. And a lot of board members who were in the room weren't aware of those type things. So it was a lively discussion. It was something that we got a lot of feedback on. Our own Gully Stanford was also in the meeting. He's on the School Boards Association, and he's our secret weapon for advocating to our local politicians and so forth. So it was a great meeting, and it was good to see such a turnout.
Okay, thank you. Any other committees?
One other thing I just wanted to mention in regard to Technology Committee. The Technology Committee didn't meet in the last couple weeks, but I was selected to participate by New York State in the AP Computer Science standard setting that's going on statewide right now. They're calculating scores and so forth, and how scores should be calculated on the new Computer Science AP exam. I did that on Tuesday and Wednesday. And that's something I'll bring back to our technology committee as feedback. That's why I mentioned it.
Okay. All right, moving on to board discussion, including consent agenda items. Any board discussion? Consent agenda item? All right. At this time, we'll move on to 12.1. Can I get a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda?
So moved. Carl.
Second, Margaret.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Moving on to new business, 13.1, first consideration for course addition for Avid that we just saw. Can I get a motion?
So moved, Margaret.
Second, Christine.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. 13.2, capital SEQRA resolution for energy product amendment at Ralph R. Smith for abatement. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second, Christine.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. 13.3, capital Honeywell Energy Performance Contract Amendment Number 1, Change Order 1. Can I get a motion?
So moved. Carl.
Second, Ed.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Capital Project Change Order, Phase 3B, that's part of the $35.7 million Phase 3B. Can I get a motion to approve the change order?
So moved, Christine.
Second, Margaret.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Tax exempt lease with TD Bank. Can I get a motion for that?
So moved, Christine.
Second. Carl.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. 13.6 is the volunteer firefighters and ambulance workers partial tax exemption. Can I get a motion?
So moved, Margaret.
Second, Christine.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And 13.7, there's an appeal for an impartial hearing decision, 651470. Can I get a motion for that?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, can I get a motion to enter our second public participation?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Would anyone like to address the board? Same rules apply, 3 minutes per speaker, but it'll be limited to 12 minutes. You moved farther away from the last time.
Yes, it is now. I missed what you said, Mr.
I
Chairman.
said you moved farther away from...
Yes, well, actually, there's an acoustic dead spot right there. And so, fortunately, the booster speakers at the back make every word, every treasured word audible, but I did find myself struggling a little to hear what was being said, sitting right there in the front rows. Gully Stanford, 181 Marshall Road. Very proud Hyde Park resident. 3 quick things this evening. First of all, just congratulations on this. I'm a 35-year veteran of the regional theatre movement, and I know how absolutely vital it is to the creativity of our youth to provide them with the facilities you've done here, not just in one space, but also in the high school as well. It's a magnificent, magnificent achievement. It only underscores Hyde Park's contribution, commitment to both the visual and the performing arts. So all congratulations on that, and it was wonderful to hear the presentation about our students who have made that connection between creativity and citizenship, which is a hallmark. So I think Franklin and Eleanor are probably very proud of the Hyde Park schools this evening. Secondly, just from BOCES, as you know, I'm your representative on the BOCES board, and just we had a wonderful report this last week from Dr. DeLucia, our marvelous district superintendent, and for the first time in our history, an interim, or in living memory, an interim report on how we're doing against the goals to which you as a community contributed, if you remember last year as we did our strategic plan. Thank you for that. We're really believe that we're moving forward with a wonderful new organizational setup. The Dr. DeLucia is overseeing. Of course, we'd always want to know if we are meeting the expectations of our component districts. So, but at this point, we're very proud of the fact that we believe we are on track and adding some good things as well. We're doing a 10th grade exploratory for students to come and take a look at what's available in career technical. We've added dual enrollment. That was an interesting issue over a couple of years, and now that seems to be coming together. And we really appreciate our number one customer, which of course is the Hyde Park schools. And then finally, just to advocacy, I do want to thank Trustee Spence for his exemplary chairmanship of the Dutchess County School Boards Association. By the way, those monthly meetings, anybody can tune in on them, and I'm very pleased that they've instituted now the habit of Jody DeLucia comes to each of these meetings and does do an update from the BOCES, because we do want to make sure that our communications with you, obviously the superintendents work so closely, and the staff with our superintendent and staff, and I think 1,700 people actually attended Professional Development Day that we pioneered there just recently. But it's good for the trustees to know as well, I think, what we are trying to do, and also to be able for us to hear your concerns. And then thanks to the School Boards Association and NISBA, yes, we've got some exciting advocacy issues. Probably on the front burner, just to conclude, thank you for your tolerance, Mr. President, but on the front burner is this whole question of making the special education of our preschool students affordable, because the rates that are set at the state level and at the county level are not sufficient to be able to bring in the service providers, which in turn results in an unnecessary expense to you as a district. So we're very pleased to say that the county legislature is committed to taking a look at the county match, or the county contribution towards the rates for special education preschool. We've had a chance to talk about it at the School Boards Association. We'll keep you posted as it goes forward, because obviously the county legislature, we all know how to interact with those legislators, and hopefully they will look favorably on our recommendations. It's such an honor to represent you and to be a resident of Hyde Park at a time of such great progress being made by you here for our students. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else like to address the board? At this time, we'll close public participation. Thank you, Gully, for the comments. Appreciate it. Any other matters deemed necessary by the board? I don't think we need a second exec, right? No second exec, so can I get a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting?
So moved it.
Second, Christine.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Meeting adjourned.